right, it's time to break down everything I read in March. I read a total of 12 books and it was a good mix. A lot of fantasy, because that's kind of my jam, but I also read some mystery and thriller books. So the first thing I read was Carnival Fantastico. This is a kind of YA fantasy. It I thought it would remind me more of the Night Circus, not as much, but it's star-crossed lovers. It reads kind of YA, but it was a lot of fun. I rated this one 4 stars. The Heir of Whitestone by Catherine Coulter was really disappointing. I always loved Catherine Coulter, but this one, it just didn't work for me. The characterization, just the whole plot, it just wasn't working for me. The Ascended. I loved this book. I devoured it. I will say I read a lot of people online are saying you should read Riftborn and Dustbound first. Um, you don't necessarily have to. It could stand on its own, but I think the payoff for the twist at the end, it really hits harder if you have read Riftborn and Dustbound. That twist just makes so much more sense, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to read more from this duo. The next one was Entwined. I read this one on NetGalley. This has like a steampunk kind of vibe, magical realism, which I really enjoy. So if that's your jam, you're going to want to check this out. Murder in a Cornish Tea Shop. This is like a cozy contemporary mystery. I think it was supposed to be kind of like a rom-com, but the romance part wasn't really romancing, but it was cozy. The mystery was good. There were some interesting side characters. I liked this one. It's not trying to change your life, but it doesn't have to. It's just a fun, easy, cozy read. My Husband's Wife. This one was awesome. This was a thriller by Alice Feeney. It was very twisty and hard to do. I did not see it coming. I had not figured it out till like the very, very end. So I love this one. Aubrey and I did a whole video on Alice Feeney. I'll put the link in the show notes below, but love this one. I will definitely be picking up more Alice Feeney books. I finally read Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This one has been on my TBR for a while. It's YA. It's the start of her Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I loved it. It was so much fun. I did enjoy Caraval. I enjoyed some of the Caraval books more than others. I'm guessing this might be the same. I will be completing this series. It's YA, very clean, very whimsical, very charming. I finally read One Dark Window. Okay, I loved it, loved it, loved it. Just the ambiance, the vibes, it's moody and it's just it is a total vibe. I loved it. Aubrey had been saying, you've got to read this, you've got to read this. And I was really scared because our book club read The Night and the Moth, which was also written by Rachel Gillig. And I really did not like The Night and the Moth. So I was kind of scared to read, One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. I loved it, loved it, loved it. So I'm definitely going to be reading the next one probably sometime this month. Only Spelled Deep by Ava Morgan. I read this one on NetGalley. It was not for me. It was really dark, and not that I don't read dark things, but just the payoff at the end for that much darkness was, I wasn't as invested in the characters. I didn't see as much of a payoff. It just didn't work for me on so many levels. If you think you might be interested, I will say check your trigger warnings because it's dark, y'all. The Primrose Murder Society. This is another cozy murder mystery, and there's a mother-daughter dynamic that's really interesting. I love this one. There were some awesome side characters because it takes place in an apartment that's for the 55 and up crowd, and there's a murder mystery, and it's just really great. I love the characters. I love the writing. And I also like that even though this was a cozy mystery that didn't take itself too seriously, it was saying something about parent-child relationships that was a little bit deeper if you cared to look. So I would recommend that, and I'm definitely going to be reading more by this author. Scars Beneath a Serpent's Scales by Nicole Platania. Run, 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 go get it. It was so good. I have not read anything by this author before, although her Curse of Ophelia series is on my radar. I love this. It was very good. The magic was interesting. The world building, it kept a good pace. And there were these twists in it that I just didn't see coming. And it is the first book in her new series. So I'm really interested to see where it goes next. And now I really want to try to get my hands on Curse of Ophelia, because if that's anything like this in terms of the writing and world building and character development, I'm going to enjoy this. And the last thing I read was Red Rising. I have had this on my TBR for a while and I loved it. It did not disappoint. You know, last month I read Will of the Many, and Red Rising is very similar. I would say Red Rising is more fast paced. It's more action, 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 less on the character development. Whereas Will of the Mini is a little bit slower, very much on the character development. Like we really feel like we get to know the characters. So it's just kind of a different pace, but I do think I'm kind of in my dystopian era because I really did enjoy it. So that's what I read for February. Tell me if you've read any of these, if there are any others you would recommend, and what are you reading now?